Sonic being like the wind is sort of a buzzword that gets thrown around a lot in discussion of the character, and I can understand being confused about what exactly that means. The symbolism is used quite frequently throughout the franchise, but it's simultaneously easy enough to tune out that I've seen people thinking it's a thing that originated in Black Knight. But trust me, once you start thinking about it, you notice it everywhere. To list a few examples of Sonic being associated with the wind, just so everyone's on the same page. Sonic's plane is called the Tornado, Sonic's attack in Sonic Adventure 2 is called Sonic Wind, in Sonic Heroes, Sonic spins around quickly to generate a small tornado for his blue tornado attack. In Sonic Rush, when Blaze asks Stream to describe Sonic, she says he's like the wind. In Sonic 06, Elise comments that she can feel Sonic's presence in the wind to say that he's still alive. In Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic states that his only master is the wind that flows free. In Sonic Generations, his character bio states, like the wind, he's always on the move. And in Chow Tales, the camera sticks on a shot of him running past to show the wind that followed. Hell, the Mary Garnet origin story, Sonic's original Japanese origin, had the man who inspired the character of Sonic in-universe work on a project named Blue Gale, which had the goal of being the first plane to break the sound barrier. This has been a thing since the very beginning. Also, vaguely related, the Sonic title emblem is inspired by an airline badge to this very origin story. So great, Sonic is commonly associated with the wind, but what connection do they share? Well, aside from Sonic being simply like the wind in the sense that it flows freely as he does, they also share a sort of cause and effect relationship. Sonic runs past, and that, of course, is followed by a breeze. My favorite example of wind symbolism is his first appearance in 06, where he runs circles around Elise and Eggman, seemingly appearing from a whirlwind, which causes the NPCs to describe it as the blue wind appearing. It almost makes Sonic seem like something mythical, something that appears when the blue wind blows. But what I like about it, and this ties into the problem with Sonic being an electrokinetic, is that it's completely natural. Sonic isn't practicing aerokinesis, but he can create gusts of wind by simply moving quickly. Sonic doesn't really have any sort of special powers. He's completely natural, and yet still matches or exceeds the power of the world's greatest feats of science. And frankly, that's a major part of what sets him apart, isn't it? Also, I know someone's going to mention his Sonic Wind move from Adventure 2 as an example of straight-up aerokinesis, but I think that's a thing where you kinda need to separate a game mechanic from what a character can actually do. In my eyes, they just needed to give Sonic some equivalent to Shadow's Chaos Spear that was thematically connected to him. So no, I don't think Sonic can just innately control the air around him, unless we're arguing Amy has the ability to stop time on her own. But anyways, that's precisely why electricity as an element for Sonic just doesn't work for me, especially for the main canon Sonic. Look, Movie Sonic is a completely different guy from main Sonic, and his speed functions differently. It's not something normal. He's explicitly stated to have powers that can be harnessed, toggled on at will, which is a far cry from main Sonic's natural abilities. And you know what? That's all fine. He can be a different guy, he's in a different continuity. I might think it's a poor adaptation, but that's neither here nor there. But this becomes a problem when you try to apply his electrokinesis to the main Sonic, which we've now seen twice in promotional material. The Sonic X Shadow Generations launch trailer and the 35th anniversary celebration video. I've also seen some people say he has electrical effects in the Shadow Generations cutscene where he fights Shadow, and I can kinda see it, but I think there's also reasonable room for doubt that it's just the standard boost effect, so I don't know, make of it what you will. The thing with giving Game Sonic Movie Sonic's electrokinesis is that it kind of makes it seem as though Sonic isn't all natural. Like he's got some sort of superpowers or something, which makes Sonic less unique. And I know, these are far from major appearances. It's an outsourced animation and a social media promotional video that probably didn't go that high up the ladder at Sega. It's not like it's an appearance in a major game. I just wanted to make this video so people can understand why people are opposed to Sonic having electricity as an element, and why I hope this doesn't reach the games. Also, I've seen some people parroting the line from Sonic Adventure, where Tikal says that Super Sonic can transform into a bolt of lightning as he reaches high speeds. And while I understand the point, I think the distinction from base and Super Sonic is really important here. Chaos Energy has been depicted as electric many times in the past, so I'd argue that's a trait of Super Sonic specifically. For a similar reason, I don't take issue with the electricity effects in Frontiers, since that's a byproduct of the cyber energy Sonic takes on throughout the game. Anyways, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. I think Sonic's wind symbolism is cool, especially since it's one of the longest standing influences of his original origin, which I'd otherwise assume is long forgotten. Personally, I think it'd be a shame if it were overshadowed by something that, at least to me, is contradictory to the character's very fundamentals.
Holy shit, this place is blue. I don't remember this being so blue.
I feel so blue! Blue Kino Wind Momentum! What you see is what you get. Just a guy who loves momentum physics and, wind.
Yup, that's him. That's Sonic right there. Found him, guys.